welcome to another episode of Eric's Camping Adventures. I've been waiting for the right combination of a short Friday, some good weather, and a wife that's rested. So we are headed to the Kiowa National Grasslands just west of Oklahoma in northern New Mexico. We arrived at the entrance to the Kiowa National Grasslands with about 45 minutes until sunset, and we had no idea how beautiful it was going to be driving down into the canyon. The road going down into the canyon was narrow, it was steep, and it had a lot of switchbacks. I had no idea that the fires that were west of the Kiowa Grasslands, probably about 80 miles west, were going to create this beautiful orange hue that just lit up the rocks going down into the canyon. It was awesome. Normally I would leave a little bit more margin for my arrival time traveling down into a never seen canyon at dusk, but this worked out pretty good. We arrived at the Mills Canyon campground with a little bit of daylight left, and we had the pick of the campground. There was no one else there. We drove the loop of the campground twice, and we picked the most private spot. By the time we had picked our spot to set up our tent, we were doing it by the ambient light just coming over the edge of the canyon walls. The sunset was past. We were pretty tired from our 9-hour drive from Tulsa, but look what we woke up to. The sunrise in the bottom of the canyon was a new thing for us, and boy, was it beautiful. We decided to hike in the canyon in the cool of the morning because the dynamic of temperature in a canyon is that the sun warms the walls of the canyon, so they radiate heat back out by midday, and then you have the heat from the midday sun, so it can get quite hot in a canyon by midday. The Canadian River does course through the base of the canyon, but it was pretty dry. On our way into the canyon, when we made our last gas fill-up, we learned from the attendants at the gas station that they had not had any rain for 9 months. Whenever you travel new places, just like this canyon, it's very important to keep an open mind about what beauty is. If you have determined in advance what beautiful is and you come here, you may be disappointed. But if you're open to a different kind of beauty in a different kind of place, let me tell you, Mills Canyon is stunning. The drone footage in the canyon was beautiful. One thing I need to learn to do is to review some of my drone footage before I make plans, because you can see some of the trails that are visible on the drone footage, and those would have been nice to either hike or to off-road, especially that mound off to the right. One area I wanted to explore was the dry riverbed, where there was an off-road crossing to see if I felt like the pilot could get over it. Despite the dry conditions, we found a lot of signs of life down in this canyon, including paw prints, lots of different types of animal scat. This next image is the apex of animal scat in the canyon. This is definitely a black bear, and this can be paired with another image that's coming up next. It is the print of a black bear in the mud. This was taken by Dr. Carrie Griffiths-Kyle, I believe within a week of having been in the canyon myself. Dr. Kyle is a high school classmate and present associate professor at Texas Tech, and she took a group of her students down into the canyon, and she gave me permission to share this on this video. On our hike, we found a nice dispersed campsite under some trees with some good shade and a rock picnic table. Because it was New Mexico and so dry, we weren't surprised to find cactus, but what we were surprised to find was all the lilacs that were just in bloom and seemed to be flourishing in the dryness down by the Canadian River. It appeared that there was actually some kind of planting program that was going on to get the lilacs to grow and maybe control erosion down by the bank of the river. Well, it's starting to get warm out, so we're going to head back up to the campsite, and I think we're going to call this episode 1 of 2 on Mills Canyon. Come back next time. We're going to do a little bit of off-roading and do a little cooking.